My amendment expands on this bill's reporting requirements regarding settlements. Specifically, it will require a copy of the settlement agreements to be given to Congress, the status of some outstanding claims, and a guarantee that the settlement is in the best interest of the United States. There are still too many unanswered questions about this ransom payment. A $1.7 billion cash payment to Iran, given simultaneously and connected to the release of 4 American hostages. This is $1.7 billion that went directly towards Iran's military. This is the same Iran military that not only embarrassed our 10 Navy sailors with photography and videography, but then gave awards to their generals in appreciation. This is the same military that right now is humiliating our naval ships in international waters and threatening to shoot down our planes. This is the same military responsible for killing American service members. The President of the United States is saying and doing nothing to prevent that. Instead, he just agreed to pay for it. My amendment ensures that Congress and the American people have clarity about any American claims which may be conceded through settlements our government enters into at the Iran-U.S. Claims Tribunal. Now, some people blindly loyal to this president will say we owed the $400 million. Says who? We didn't owe the money. What about the $817 million that the U.S. claimed against Iran that Iran was contesting? Or, over the course of the past few decades, Americans directly harmed by Iranian terrorism had sued Iran in U.S. courts and won. In 2000, Congress passed a law authorizing that the funds needed to pay those judgments in an equal amount to the assets, at that time, frozen in Iran's foreign military sales account held by the U.S., which was around $400 million. When the American victims accepted those payments, their claims were subrogated to the United States, meaning that their claims against Iran became the United States' claims against Iran. That law clearly states that, quote, no funds shall be paid to Iran or released to Iran from the Foreign Military Sales Fund until such subrogated claims have been dealt with to the satisfaction of the United States, end quote. That's law. But the administration recently paid Iran full $400 million amount from the FMS fund, plus more than 3 times that amount in interest, a total of $1.7 billion in cash, apparently without requiring Iran to pay anything with regards to those American victims' claims for Iranian terrorism. The need for transparency about the effect of tribunal settlements on all claims is obvious, including counterclaims and subrogated claims being pursued on behalf of the American people. I personally tried to access the tribunal's website, which claims to contain, quote, many fully searchable public documents, end quote. I had to request an account on the tribunal's website, and 1 month has passed without a response. That route clearly is not an acceptable option. This bill and amendment are necessary for transparency, accountability, and national security. Again, it is United States law that, quote, no funds shall be paid to Iran or released to Iran from the Foreign Military Sales Fund until such subrogated claims have been dealt with to the satisfaction of the United States, end quote. I thank Chairman Royce for addressing this important issue,
Will the gentleman
and I thank his staff for their hard work on this bill. I yield back.
Mr. Sherman. I'll just comment briefly. It's my understanding that the statute the gentleman was referring to only provides a statement of policy and not a statutory limit on the power of the President. He may disagree with what the President was doing. Whenever you settle a claim in a complicated relationship, you wonder, well, should I settle this claim without also getting justice on some other claim? And the President made a decision. That decision can be questioned, but I don't think it can be declared to be illegal simply because he didn't follow the policy language in a congressional enactment.
If the gentleman wants to
thank you,
proceed.
Mr. Chairman. I don't want you to put words in my mouth. That's not what I stated, but what I did quote was a law, and I stated what that law stated. But I really don't want you to put any words in my mouth.
Just to clarify for the record, the statute that you quoted and quoted accurately was a statement of policy and not a statute that limits presidential action. Do I have that right, or would the gentleman want to comment?
Well, the parliamentarian could opine on this, but he has, but I'm not sure you want to hear his answer. He is of the opinion that yes, for the record, it would be both.
That it is a statutory, well,
Yeah,
then,
but it is his opinion. But
I look forward to getting various opinions on this.
In the
In
interest of clarifying the underlying amendment, let me just, as I'm looking at this amendment, what it does is it adds details to the reporting requirement so that we've got clarity not only about the direct claims being settled, but also about any counterclaims or subrogated claims that may be extinguished by such an agreement. That's what the amendment does. But my hope is that we pass this by voice and get on to the final bill. But Mr. Engel.
Mr. Chairman, I have no objection to the gentleman's amendment, but I would again say that while there may be objections to what the President did, he is not the first President to do it. It has been done by both Democratic and Republican presidents. So I think that, you know, we object to the attacks on this President and this administration. Certainly we agree that there needs to be more oversight. And again, I hope that we can sit down and come up with a bipartisan bill to do that, notification. But I think what the gentleman is offering is reasonable, and I support it.
I thank Mr. Engel, and hearing no further requests for recognition, the question occurs on this amendment. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. In the chair, the ayes have it, and the amendment's agreed to.